afternoon. I would like to announce the debate for the fall elections opened. We will start with the land recognition. I would like to invite our president to read it. Yeah, for her.
I'm Alec. I'm running for first year rep. So I'll be reading the Atlantic document. We recognize that many indigenous nations have long-standing relationships with the territories upon which York University campuses are located that precede the establishment of York University. York University acknowledges its presence on the traditional territory of many indigenous nations. The area known as Tikaranto has been caretaken by the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Huron-Wendat, and the Métis. It is now home to many indigenous peoples. We acknowledge the current treaty holders, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. This territory is subject of the Dish with One Spoon One Palm Belt Covenant, an agreement to peacefully share and care for the Great Lakes region. Thank you.
I would like to introduce you all our candidates. First of all, first year representatives. We have Nuseba, Autumn, Nicole, Sarah, Priya, and Carl. Running for Director of Communications, we have Nadim, Breezy, Olivia, and Brittany. For Director of Events and Programming, we have Israel and Fiza. And for Director of Academic Affairs, we have Jasmine and Sean. The order of their speeches is decided by the order of they submitted their application or by the COI. I would like to remind all the candidates that they should not break any rules defined by Constitution or myself. They should respect each other and respect each other's speeches and positions. No personal accusations will be tolerated. I would like to introduce you to the structure of the debate. Each candidate will have 3 minutes for the speech. After that, they will be asked 3 questions, a minute per question. 1 question will be asked from the VPs of their respective department or the random anonymous first year. The second question will be asked by myself, and the third question will be from the audience. So be mindful and inclusive. At this point, without further ado, I would like to start the debate. The order of departments will be directors of academics, events, communications, and then first year representatives. The first, I would like to invite Jasmine to start her speech to the stand.
All right, hello everyone, my name is Jasmine. I'm running for Director of Academics. For those of you who don't know me, I'll do a little bit of introduction. I am a third-year student. I'm doing a double major in psychology and criminology. I currently hold a supervisory position with the peer mentors upstairs in the mall office, so affectionately called the Cubby. And as of last summer, I was invited to join the Golden Key Society, which, for those of you who don't know that is, it is the top 15 grades of an individual's program. So, needless to say, I am quite confident in my academics. For my speech portion, I'm just going to ask you guys to consider who is in this room right now. It is not that it's a bad thing, but it's the same 50, 100 people that are around MAC all the time. And once again, that's not a bad thing. However, McLaughlin is supposed to serve approximately 5,000 MAC affiliates. I aim to use the academics department to outreach to those 5,000 affiliates. And for those of you who might not be so fond of that idea because you enjoy the small community, here's why it would be a good idea to reach out to them. By reaching out to classes, using class talks, and partnering with the clubs, we can get more followers on social media, more athletes for sports, and hopefully more opting in for money. We all know, or most of us know, what the Student Choice Initiative is. By getting more people to get involved with MAC, involved with York, more people will realize the importance of school life through academics, and people will want to opt in, and that means more money for the college, more money for sports, more athletes for sports, and more torch points, which is all event things that benefit us all. In closing, I know this is a short one, but vote for me as an investment in MAC's future.
Okay, hello McLaughlin College. I just want to start off to formally introduce myself. My name is Sean. I'm a second year, and I'm in criminology. So to start off, I just want to mention a brief reasoning as to why I'm running for the position of Director of Academic Affairs. Entering my first year at York last year, I shared a bond with numerous amount of students, especially within council. They taught me something special about valuing my time within my years here at York. They became my family away from home. We shared laughs, jokes, and roasts amongst one another. But more importantly, They taught me ways to legitimize my studies and help each other in times of need. McLaughlin became my family, a family that I could confide in and crack jokes with. The college became an important part of my life. I'd do anything to ensure its success and recognition as an amazing, welcoming college overall. Within my first year, I was lucky enough to receive the McLaughlin College Spirit Award for the positive and joyful energy I brought to the environment of the college. Upon reaching my second year this year, I was eager and ready to represent McLaughlin College in the position I found most fulfilling, which was Director of Academic Affairs. Even though it may be my first time ever running for council, it's the bond, attachment, and determination to do whatever it takes to contribute to the position as a director. What I can contribute to the position of being a director is ensuring the recognition of the associations and clubs our colleges have to offer. Associations such as Amnesty International New York, Criminology Society, Law Society Students Association, Public Administration Student Association, and Pretty Law Society. Another club to mention is Mac Media, for all the active readers and writers. Lastly, I hope to be the voice to ensure all the club's concerns are heard and acknowledged, and offer my help to the VP of Academics, Najwa, and offer my help with the other fellow council members where needed. To end my speech off, God bless you all for this academic year, and vote Sean for Director of Academic Affairs for 2019.
The first question being from VP of Academic Affairs is, how would you manage your time for both school and your responsibilities as a director? Your time starts now.
Well, for the most part, I'm just an incredibly organized person. I allocate time. I feel like all of us have been given speeches from professors about how much time you're supposed to give each hour of class time or whatever. I'm extremely good at allocating that time, and I have like a fair amount of free time already, so that's just lay up.
Whether it be a lecture tutorial, obviously I'm going to give a heads up to council at what times I'm not available, but as long as there's communication between council and myself, I will be at MAC all the time wherever they need me.
The second question coming from me is, why do you think you're qualified for this position? Your time starts now.
Well, in the past, I didn't really mention things during my speech, but I have held many leadership positions, including serving in a robotics organization, organizing events for robotics. Qualified. I also served as Director of Academics last year, but I didn't really want to use that. But regardless, like I feel I have a lot of ideas in order to push the academics department, as it's not one of the most well-known departments. But I want to make it known, and I have a lot of ideas to make it good.
Even though it's my first time running for council, I feel like reaching out to the clubs is a good way to get students engaged and acknowledge about the type of careers they want within the workforce.
Perfect. The third question being from the audience, can I have volunteers to ask?
So, obviously holding a position as Director of Academics, you are responsible for working in conjunction with the VP Academics to make sure that communication between all the associates at McLaughlin College is done effectively, but that's only half of the job. So how would you see yourself functioning as a general council member within McLaughlin College and the community, and as you mentioned earlier, kind of reach out to the general McLaughlin community?
Your time starts now.
So, as a general council member, all the basic duties as outlined in the Constitution is just supporting events, blowing up social media with our stuff, doing sports. I already do sports with MAC. Those are my functions as like a general council member. The basics. What was the other part of your question?
It's like you spoke on like reaching out to the more people in the McLaughlin community. So how would you go about doing so?
So I actually, as last year, I went from Director of Academics to VP of Academics. So I actually built the package that Naja has for this year. I already had a little bit of blueprint going in, and then in terms of like actual plans, I want to reinitialize the class talks in terms of reaching out to individuals in class, as well as working in partnership with clubs, not just communicating with them, getting involved with their events and getting their events to bring in more people.
So we know that academics is not really what Max is going for all the time. How would you kind of bring that more to the forefront this year and kind of make people more excited about like academics like in general?
So within events such as Frosh, where there's a big turnout within first years, I'd recommend that we have clubs actually speak to them and give them interest about how they could help them within their studies and aspirations and desires in the future. Also, giving them knowledge about the clubs will give them an opportunity to meet with people with actually in the workforce to kind of get an experience and a touch of what is to be expected.
These were our candidates for position of Director of Academics. Now I would like to move on to Directors of Events. The first one to deliver his speech is Israel. Please.
All right, well, hi guys. If you don't know me, my name is Israel Salako, and I'm hoping to be your new Director of Events. I'm currently entering my second year at York University, and I've been a part of Wolfpack from the beginning, since my first Frosh, also known as Orange Takeover. It was where I was first introduced to the college and where my passion for McLaughlin started, and it's been growing steadily ever since. Flash forward to this year when I become a leader, which led to my passion growing and also giving me a chance to give my passion to other Froshies, as you say. And it just gave me an opportunity to pass it on while making our community bigger. The community welcomed me in my first year, and since then I've come to cherish this community and everyone in it, and I felt a need to help everyone in whatever way I can. This is why I've chosen to run for Director of Events, because through this position I think I can truly help and impact the community that truly impacted helped and impacted me when I was in my first year. I believe with this position I would help our current VP of events with their current responsibilities, such as planning events, the main ones that everyone knows, such as Montreal and Formal. But I would also try to help with other various events too. As a director, I would act as a helping hand to my vice president and moreover to the rest of my fellow council members. In terms of events, I would be very useful, especially in terms of execution, because I feel like I can bring a lot of energy when needed and to kind of create that kind of aura that when the event's happening on, that everyone's going to be great, it's going to be fun, and try to cultivate more people to have fun in that moment. I would also try to make events for other people that usually don't find our events so appealing, like it's lit, but I also try to make like smaller ones for like academics, as like kind of like the Sean mentioned before and Jasmine. It's just try to make like work with academics to make some more academic events to appeal to other students who are like more focused on their schoolwork or they're worried about future career options and so forth. Another thing I was thinking that maybe we could try is kind of like increase our collaboration with other colleges, with other events, so like our constituents in McLaughlin can also broaden their horizons and meet new people from this university, because there's more to York University than outside these four McLaughlin College. And then, and the last idea, like one of the many ideas I had, another one I had was to increase class talks, just for like to increase events in particular, but then also to increase knowledge about McLaughlin Council in particular, just especially because we have a lot of people in our college, but not a lot of people show up. So then if we increase class talks and actually execute them, then people will come to our events, they will know more about McLaughlin College, and also be better in the long run. And I know for me and many others, McLaughlin College is home, and I would like to try my best to maintain and better our community. That's why you should vote for Izzy. That's why you should get busy and vote for Izzy. But on a real note, I'd like to thank all of you for listening to my speech, and if you vote for me to be your new Director of Events, I'll try to make this year the best I could possibly be.
Okay, so my name is Fizza Saleh, and I'm running to be your next Director of Events and Programming. But before I begin, I want to talk a little bit about my experience here at MAC. So it all started during Frosh. When I first thought about going to Frosh, I was so scared and nervous because it was a new place and I literally knew nobody. As soon as I got out of the car and into the MAC quad, all I saw was blue and red t-shirts everywhere, which made me even more nervous and anxious, and I felt super out of place. But all of that changed as soon as I started talking to people. Everyone here was so friendly and welcoming and spirited that after the first day, I already felt like I was part of the Wolfpack. And as cheesy as it may sound, that feeling that I got from being a part of something more than just school actually makes me excited to come here every day, because it's a place where I genuinely enjoy spending my time. And that is just one of the reasons why I want to be part of council. I want to help other people who have felt the same as I did to find their place and be a part of our community here at MAC. I think I'm the best candidate for this position because I've actually experienced planning events and working with diverse groups of people. Throughout my 12 years of school, I have been a strong presence in various councils, committees, and clubs. From being school president in middle school to being a key member of my high school student government, I've always been comfortable taking initiative and making change. I want to learn from the challenges and successes that I've experienced and use them to flawlessly execute events at our college. On top of my experience in planning events in the past, I am a very creative person, and I know I can bring a lot of new ideas to MAC. Now, I know MAC already has a ton of amazing events, but with me on the team, we can definitely make them better. For example, I know that MAC has a lot of intramural sports events, but we can include MAC tattoos, face paint, free lemonade, exciting commentators, and music to hype up the event, get a bigger turnout, and get more people involved even if they're not the most athletically inclined. Now, this is just one of the many ideas I have to make MAC events more engaging and our college a more welcoming place for folks. In my past experience, I have learned various problem-solving skills. I've also had to deal with many different unexpected issues while executing events, which I dealt with in the most efficient way possible, or at least I'd like to believe. So if you want to have a director of events and programming that is passionate, creative, and has years of experience, then I'm exactly who you're looking for. Add a pop of Fizz into your life and vote Fizzasolic for your next director of events and programming.
Question being from VP of Events and Programming. Please name 2 duties specific to your position and 2 duties of a council member. Your time starts now.
So for VP events, I'm supposed to, the main part is to assist the VP, as the director of events, the main part is to assist the VP of events, and then for the 2 general council responsibilities, I know you have to maintain office hours, and I think for my position specifically it's 2. And you also have to play 3 sports, 2 tournaments, and 1 job-in. That is.
So 2 duties of director of events and programming are to maintain number of office hours that are prescribed by the council, and it can't be less than 2 hours per week. I have to plan and execute, you have to plan and execute, promote at least 1 event per semester, and then council members are to also maintain, to abide by the MCC constitution and to keep office hours as well.
My question is, what is your dream event? Your time starts now.
Okay, all right, well, I kind of think about this. So, February, Black History Month. So, when I was thinking about all my ideas for, thing, I was actually kind of thinking of this, Black History Month week or month where we would have, events for, an event every week, or, 1 week where you have events, and we'd have it with every colleges. So, include talent shows, talent shows, we'd have a fashion show, and et cetera, and then we'd try to do it, every college, and then just try to, Black History Month.
My dream event, it might sound lame, but I really like School Spirit, and I really like MAC Spirit especially. And I know in my high school we had a lot of spirit events, so a spirit week, so there'd be different days would be different things, so spirit wear, or karaoke, or finish the lyrics, stuff like that.
Yeah. So aside from fraud, what experience do you have in event planning?
Your time starts now.
Okay. So as for experience, I'm not as qualified as everyone else, but I say this a lot, but what I lack in experience, I make up for in passion and determination. I've been a constituent for a long time, and most of the people know that I'm very helpful. I'm always here, and I feel like I'm just trying to learn and better myself. So I feel like that's why I would be qualified for this position.
Okay. What unique trait about you think would make you successful for this position?
Your time starts now.
Okay, so I'm a person that doesn't give up, or it's very hard to, and it's sometimes annoying to certain people, but I think it's I can call it persistence. I'll keep trying no matter what, even if I get knocked down, I'll keep trying because I just want to be as successful as possible. And I try to learn as much from my mistakes and never repeat the same mistakes. So I think that's a pretty good trait.
Thanks a lot.
Good afternoon, McLaughlin College, Council, constituents, and my fellow candidates. For those of you who don't already know me, my name is McLaughlin. Just a little bit about me. I'm a second-year political science student, and I'd like to describe, my experience as a McLaughlin College constituent as nothing short of amazing. I love everything that this college has to offer. I love the energy that everyone brings to it, whether we would be hanging out in the McLaughlin College lounge, whether we would be hanging out in the McLaughlin College office. And whether it would be events such as Rage Dodgeball or Volleyball, overnight trips such as Montreal, or even some of our smaller events, the one thing that I see that it has in common is that we always have fairly large turnouts due to the way in which we promote them, because essentially communication is key. Therefore, if you were to elect me as Director of Communications, my goal to you was that I will do my best to ensure we can involve as many constituents as possible, given that McLaughlin College has a very large number of constituents. Some of the ways which I hope to achieve this would be to refine our current means of communication, in which we could expand our social media presence as well as improve our activity on some of our current social media platforms, as well as we can also gain further involvement from constituents by engaging in more class talks. That way, we get more constituents involved, especially those who maybe aren't as involved, those who don't follow the college as much. Now, I know that this may sound very generic, but some of the reasons why I feel that I would be best suited to fill this position is that I'm not only hardworking and reliable and dedicated, but I have a strong willingness to learn, and that I'm very firm on accountability. Above all else, I hope that by filling this position, I can leave some kind of impact, hopefully a positive one, with McLaughlin College, because as I said before, I love this college and everything that it has to offer. So if you want to live the McLaughlin dream, vote for Nadim.
You have 3 minutes.
Hi everyone, my name is Breezy. Okay, so if you're in this room right now watching the speech or planning to vote, it's because we all have something in common. And that commonality is that for each and every one of us here at MAC is like a family. And like any other family, we need to have great communication to function. So before I go ahead with like the other things that I have to say, I would just like to talk a bit about myself. So like I said, my name is Breezy, and I'm a second-year poli-sci student. And I wasn't really involved at MAC last year, mainly because I was just really shy to like come. But then I had like a lot of friends who would like ask me to come and mingle with them, but I was just really nervous, so I didn't do it. The flames that ignited last year, and I realized that the same level of comfort that MAC offered me last year was still here, and everyone was just really friendly and really, really sweet. And that's why I just want to be more involved with MAC this year. And yeah, I believe that I would be great for this position, not only because of my eagerness and commitment to be involved at MAC this year, but because I also aspire to help everyone who's part of our college to be informed and up to date with the great things we have to offer. I really look forward to working with the council members and the faculty, college-affiliated clubs, and of course the college and the York community to highlight the social and academic events that MAC has to offer, to get the word out basically that MAC is the place to be at. And as a MAC wolf, I am ready to take on this amazing task to help us all echo the howl of the wolf pack. The only thing I ask of you is to make this possible by casting your vote. So from the 7th to the 10th of October, remember to take it easy and vote for Breezy.
You have 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Hey y'all, I'm Olivia DeMattis-Villagomez and I'm running for Director of Communications. So to start off, a little bit about me, I'm a second-year Law and Society student. Before I came to York, I went to high school, which wasn't a very diverse environment at all. The contrast between here versus McLaughlin is huge because MAC is a place filled with different people from many different places. Being of mixed race, it was always hard for me to fit in. I used to do so many things to look like those around me, and I tried my best to fit in, and never had the opportunity to make a difference at my high school. But at McLaughlin, things are the complete opposite. People love and accept each other here, regardless of race, gender, identity. We uplift each other, and I've never been more proud to be me and to be a wolf. As many of you know, I was Frosty of the Year last year, one of them, and All-Star Frosh Leader of this year. Although these two are very different roles to play, they changed my life drastically. It allowed me to break out of the shell that I had built around me from high school. I had so many lollipop moments during my first year, and then even more during my year leading. I always said overarching theme of Frosh is always a Frosh first and us second, because the hospitality and community that I received during Frosh is something that I will never forget. This is why I love McLaughlin College and its affiliates. I appreciate this opportunity, and I feel like I'm the most qualified for this position. Having this platform as a director of communications will allow me to make sure that the drive that I had as a Frosh leader, I will have throughout the year. I'll be connected through Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and more, working my absolute hardest to make sure that I'm an active council member, keeping organized, and to do my duties and more. I'll help assist Brittany, with all many duties that she has to execute, such as planning events or anything around the office, and I'm very punctual if I have to place to be at a certain time. I'm someone who comes from a very non-exclusive space to McLaughlin, an inclusive one. Because of the appreciation I have for the space, I know what it feels like to want to be in a place of acceptance, and I'm prepared to do not what I need, but what next needs to get there.
Whitney has handouts of her work, so So please take a look at that.
Okay, so before I start, we were asked to bring a small portfolio of things I've worked on. So these are just examples of posters and stuff I've worked on. So I'll just pass them around. You can look at them and see what I can do. I'm running for Director of Communications for the 2019-2020 academic year. When I first entered York, much less McLaughlin, I didn't expect to be met with such a warm and welcoming community, and couldn't believe that I could be a part of it. During my first year, McLaughlin introduced me to a brand new environment, a brand new culture that I've never experienced in high school. Throughout the year, I was able to fully experience what it was like to be a part of a family, and it has caused me to grow in so many ways. Mac has not only impacted my social life, but also my academic and personal life, as I've made so many friends and people I call lifelong friends. It is through my great experience that I want to continue this greatness of McLaughlin College as your Director of Communications. As Director of Communications, it is my duty to support the VP of Communications, Brittany, in any way I can, whether that is assisting with making posters and other forms of media for council, as well as assisting with the promotion of all McLaughlin College social media pages. It is through this process that we can keep the constituents informed with all activities pertaining to McLaughlin. I believe my experience with photography, design, as well as the knowledge I gained through MAC will make me a great addition to council. Thank you for your time, and I can't wait to see what great things council has to bring this year.
First question being from the VP of your department. It's a long one, so. Communications is more than just making a poster and promoting on social media. You also have to keep people updated and be aware of what's going on. How would you be able to stay on top of things so we can promote the right information at the right time? Your time starts now.
So while I understand that, yeah, as you said, communication is not just one aspect, some of the ways in which we can keep people updated is that, like I said, engaging in more class discussions, maintaining our social media presence, but also maybe reaching out to other departments such as events, academics, and also keeping their duties and keeping them updated with some in relation to their duties and how we can help them communicate with in their departments.
I think having a communications group chat would work, because you can provide information whenever you need at the time that it needs to be delivered, and it helps to be updated and on top of the game.
Okay, so we have the big calendar in the office, so I think that's also a really big way to keep things on top of things. Also, maybe post, how we had the frost schedule up, maybe post a schedule on every month, the starting of every month, post it on the McLaughlin page to show all the events that are happening and continuously updating the Instagram stories, because people don't really look at the actual page and scroll down and stuff. I think stories are a really big influence now. But yeah, just staying on top of that, I think that's really, really big.
Okay, so I think it's important to especially keep close contact with council. I know especially a rule that we have is if you want something posted or promoted on social media and from a respected department, you ask for the post to be made 2 weeks prior, so you know when it needs to be posted and you have a deadline.
The second question, which should have been for me, but I was so inspired by our VP. So the question is, what is creativity to you? Your time starts now.
Well, to be honest, creativity is a very subjective idea. The way I view creativity is that just coming up with new and fresh ideas, something that can push the boundaries, or maybe something innovative that appeals, but at the same time it appeals to people in a way that attracts them to something. So, for example, if we were to come up with a really cool marketing strategy that appeals to all constituents and maybe even members of other colleges, that would help bring them in.
For me, creativity is something that is very, very different to what other people may have, an idea that other people may have. And creativity is something that stems from who you are as a person, and it's from within you. So whatever it is, it's gonna be something that reflects you, your work reflects you. That's what art's like as well. It's basically a piece of you that people can see visually and have an opinion of. And that's what I think creativity is.
So creativity is thinking outside of the box, because a lot of people nowadays have the same ideas, have the same things, but nothing is outside of the box. And like, I don't know, like being creative is like being different, and I love that, especially in Mac, everyone is different, no one's the same. And yeah.
To me, creativity is passion. So even if it's like something someone else even came up with, as long as you're dedicated and willing to put into work into it, then I feel like that's what creativity is.
Thanks a lot.
So, like Brittany said in her question, it's not just about just social media platforms, but it's also about reaching out to all the other McLaughlin students that we have that don't come here. Do you have any new ways that we can do this besides class talks? Do you have maybe any ideas that we can reach out?
Your time starts now.
Aside from like class talks, social media, I feel like we could also do like maybe one-on-one discussions where we do like meet and greet sessions. We can coordinate with other departments such as academics, where we can academics and events where we can organize small events that can bring people together, and through our means of communication such as the class talks, social media, and even through one-on-one discussion, I hope that we can attract more constituents and even maybe members from other colleges to expand the McLaughlin environment.
Okay, so if you designed a poster or maybe posted something on social media and someone has a problem with it, how would you go about dealing with that?
First, I would ask them what certain part of it was the part that caused the problem, and then I would go about to fix it and work towards making it something that is more appeasable to the audience, because when we do make posters, it's to get people's attention, and it should be catered towards them, and it should be according to their liking.
So as VP or Director of Communications, obviously you're working in collaboration with the VP to communicate to the McLaughlin community. How would you work with the rest of the McLaughlin College Council to promote the rest of the resources that we have to offer to the community?
So Adam, he is Mac Outreach. So we'll also keep contact with Adam because he has his own page on Instagram. Also updating on Facebook and Snapchat and all this kind of stuff. With council, maybe with the athletic events, we can keep on contact with Anthony because he's athletic comms, and yeah.
What unique trait about you think will make you successful in this position?
Your time starts now.
So I think that being here, I've gained like new experiences as well. So I feel like I'm unique in my own way, but I feel like I can bring passion, especially I can bring that creativity, and I can bring loyalty to the council as well.
So you said yourself that there's a deadline for posters. Let's say a council member wants a poster done, and there's not enough time to do it, but the poster is really, really important because the event's really, really important. How will you balance doing it?
So I would try my best to do it, because that's like what counts. You're doing everything for council. I'll try my best to do it, but I'd also remind them that even though we're friends, and even if other people on council are friends, that we are in a professional setting, and that next time we should try and inform me about it prior to the 2 weeks.
I would like to invite Ms. Saba to deliver her speech.
Home. It is the one place where you're supposed to feel safe and secure. However, home is more than just a place. It is a feeling. After a challenging day, home is the one place where you're allowed to let go. That is what McLaughlin College is to me, home. A home filled with wonderful people that show you so much love and affection. You feel happy. Now, as a person with Pakistani parents and coming from an Arab country, you are used to a certain lifestyle where family is everything. They're there for you more than anyone. That is also what McLaughlin College is to me. They're my family. I wanted to be family for all the first years. My main mission is to help all the first years have the best year possible. You as first years should feel as though you have a voice. I want to be your voice. A voice that makes each and every one of you feel as though you matter, because you do. You're not alone. You have a whole community behind you, backing you up. As first year representative, I want every first year to feel included, and welcome. McLaughlin College is home to all, and I want to attract as many people as possible. Give me the opportunity to make your first year memorable. I will stick to my constitutional duties, like maintaining the best interest of you first years and making sure that I represent our first years to the best of my ability. Let's make McLaughlin College our home. Vote Nuseba Sheikh for first year representative.
Hello, McLaughlin College. How are we doing today? How's the Wolfpack doing today? No. Let me rephrase my question. How's my family doing today? Good? Good to hear. Alright, now let me start by saying this. The future of McLaughlin College is bright with you beautiful people shining. Now, you need someone to lead the way, and that someone is me. A person that can guide you gorgeous people to an eventful year. Now, as my job as first year representative, it is my job to make your year or anyone else's year a movie, a 5-star rating, and you're starting in it. Now, people are gonna see how much fun you're gonna be having, and they're gonna be jealous, and they're gonna wish that they were in McLaughlin College. A little side note, the best college on campus. Number 1. We're not 5th, we're not 4th, 3rd, or 2nd. We're number 1. And I intend to keep it that way. Now, while my job already is to make your year a movie and to have your voice heard by the council, it is also my job to make sure that every event that you go to, and I'm sorry for my profanity, freaking lit. Nothing more than the best of the best. I'm sorry, I want to drop an F-bomb, but Daniel didn't allow me. Now, with my skills, charisma, dedication, and hard work, it leads me to be more motivated to lead McLaughlin College into a prosperous and wonderful year. Now, not only is it my job to make your year the best year in your entire life, or it is also my job to represent you and your best interests. You matter to me. Any thoughts or concerns has value to me, no matter how big or small it may be. I represent you, and you matter. Now, let me tell you a glimpse of the ideas that I have if I'm elected into council. Spooky season's around the corner, so I can't talk about that. I'm going to talk about winter, in the spirit of the holidays. Some of the ideas that I have in plan are a Secret Santa, because who doesn't love getting presents? Ugly sweater contest, if people still have that. Clothing charity, maybe after the ugly sweater contest, you can give it away. And tobogganing racing. Who doesn't want to see awesome white bellies? Christmas movies, and my favorite, a naughty or nice party. And for sure, more things to come if I'm elected into council. Now, I've talked. Okay, that's it. And remember, vote October's very own.
Who, what, and why? These are the questions that are probably going through your head as to why I am standing here. Hello everyone, my name is Nicole Hiblet. I am a first year student. I am in criminology. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm running for the position of first year representative. What is the role of a first year rep? To represent, promote, and be the voice for all first year students. I am a student, but I also have a part-time job. My role is to be on top of my work and while balancing both my job and school. By doing so, I am an intelligent, hardworking, and a responsible individual. By obtaining this position, I'm required to put an event on. My idea is to create a cultural event where everyone is required to dress up in a formal wear that represents where they come from. Now I have stated who and what. Why am I putting on this event? Why am I running for first year rep? It's one word simply. It's one word really. Diversity. McLaughlin College is one of the most diverse college there is. Without doing Frosh Week, I probably wouldn't have known any of you standing or sitting in this room right now. And I'm applying for this position to give everyone else a chance as to what I have by getting to know more people. I want to be a part of a community that welcomes all. Therefore, vote for me. Not only because I asked you to, but because I put your best interests at heart. Vote for me.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Lufemi, and I'm a first year criminology student and also your 2019 Frosh of the Year. And I would like to be your first year representative for the 2019 and 2020 school year. You ask me why? Well, you see, they say that your first impression is your best impression. And I say this because from the first day that I arrived at York University, the McLaughlin Council has left a wolf imprint on my heart, making York University my new home. And ever since then, I knew I wanted to be more involved within the McLaughlin family. I take pride in being open-minded and down-to-earth. And I believe those are the most important traits to have for someone who will be representing the first-year students. As a fellow first-year, I understand how difficult it is to speak up in such a new environment. And I would like to be the one to remove the gap that divides the first years and the upper year students. As a first-year student, I spend a lot of time with my fellow freshmen, and in doing so, I've been able to put my ears to the ground, and I have accumulated some event ideas based on their requests, such as a wickathon. A wickathon is where the first years spend a whole night of school with food, games, and activities, and getting to know each other more. The wickathon will be a nice event because not all first years have the privilege of attending Frosh. And I believe that this event will be a great way for everyone to meet their fellow Macros. I would also like the opportunity to set up bumper parties, sports-based events, game and movie nights. And I've also heard people talk about theme-based parties, like a 90s parties, with the afro and the rollerblades. Such events can either be just Mac-based or in collaborations with other colleges. This way, the freshmen from other colleges will also meet each other and create a more diverse York Lion family. Today, I'm asking you to vote for me for your first year rep. Should you elect me, I will listen to your concerns and work very hard for you. Let someone who hears you represent you. Thank you.
Hey, hi everyone. Before I begin, I wanted to apologize for being late. I had a tutorial. We're just trying to get these participation points, get that degree. So thank you for your understanding. I also wanted to thank council for putting on the debate, all of you guys for coming out, and all of you guys for participating and voting. Now, as most of you guys already know, my name is Priya Basra, and I'm running for first year rep. So, the first day that I came to MAC, it was residence move-in date, and I was absolutely terrified to be moving away from home and leaving everything I've known for 18 years. However, the second that I stepped foot onto college property, I knew that this was the place for me. I was surrounded by passionate Frosh leaders and council members that were full of more spirit and energy than I thought it was possible to have at 9 in the morning. I knew that I had a lot in common with Mac when I was down the road and I could already hear all of the music playing and everyone cheering and getting excited. Most people that know me would tell you that you can probably hear me before you can actually see me. Now, this enthusiasm that I've seen at Mac and that I personally have is something that I want to share with all of the other students that are affiliated with Mac but don't necessarily come out to events or weren't involved with Frosh. Now, aside from all of the spirit, fun, and often getting mistaken to be a Frosh leader during this first week, the most important part of Frosh for me was getting engulfed in the culture of inclusivity and community. I don't know if it was on the first day, last, or somewhere in the middle, but I quickly realized that it didn't matter that I'd left all of my friends, family, and community back home because, as everyone has said today, McLaughlin really is my family. This feeling of community is what I want to promote, regardless of whether I'm elected as a part of student council. I want to make sure that all students, regardless of what year they are in or how outgoing or introverted they are, feel like they belong in this community and want to take part in all of the events that we put on. I plan to stay in contact with all MAC students using social media and various survey methods to learn about what you want to see happening. I want to plan events that cater to your wants, interests, and your passions. Now, I have plenty of experience working on student councils and planning and organizing events because for all 4 years of high school, I was involved in executive roles on student council. In my third year, I was vice president. My final year, I was president. And during all of those years, I was in charge of putting together countless spirit weeks, pep rallies, carnivals, and charity events.
During my time as president, I had a lot of people ask me why I even bothered to join student council at all. I wasn't being paid for the hundreds of hours that I put in volunteering every year, and a lot of the work that I did was behind the scenes and went unrecognized. For me, the answer was simple. I did it because I loved my school community and I was passionate about putting on fun events so that everyone could get involved and have a memorable year. And I can tell you this, the love I have for MAC is even greater. When the voting period begins, I ask that you vote for the candidate in front of you that you think is the most experienced, passionate, and is the most dedicated to making your year at MAC fun. Once again, I want to thank you all for your time and attention, and if you feel that I'm the candidate that would best represent you, please vote for me. Thank you.
Okay. Hi guys, if you didn't already know, my name is Carl, I'm a first year and my major is in criminology. I know it's been a long day, so I'll make mine sweet and short. I'd just like to say that for 3 reasons, I believe that I'm one of the best candidates for first year rep. Number 1, I'm very involved in the MAC community. Not just because I am part of MAC Rules Frosh and an all-star Froshy, be it in karaoke night, tipsy paint night, or going to the club, and I swear it's legal, you will find me there. I am part of MAC. I will be there. My presence is always around MAC. I literally go home at midnight just to stay around and be a part of everyone here, despite not even having classes on Wednesdays, for example. So you will find me at MAC consistently, so therefore it is a good idea that if I were elected, that people can come to McLaughlin. If they have questions for a first year rep, I will be here. Second to that, because I'm here so often, I can be considered a familiar / friendly face. As we've heard from previous candidates, they have come from a very far place, and it is a very scary thing to do, especially if you're coming from overseas or across the country. It's a very big change and it can be overwhelming. So sometimes it is nice to see someone you recognize and or are familiar with. And I just feel like it's just better if, since I am familiar with you and other people, it is easier for people to approach me if they have any questions or concerns regarding my position and or anything else from McLaughlin. Now, considering that I am new to McLaughlin and it's understandable that my ability to advocate for students is in question, therefore I will recount a real life example to demonstrate my dedication. In my last year of high school, I had an incident with my teammate who became a transgender. She went from he to she, and that is not actually allowed for playing for the volleyball team. So I personally contacted the head honcho of the TDSB and advocated for her to play as a girls division. And after probably a few days of convincing him, he managed to agree, and we are the first school, if not one of the first, to allow a male to female transgender to play on a volleyball women's league. In my opinion, a first year rep should be calm, collected, and capable. If that's what you're looking for, vote for College Illinois. Thank you.
The first question was chosen from random first year representatives, and it is, one thing you believe you do better than other candidates, and how are you better in it? Your time starts now.
I think I'm better at reaching people in a way that as first year representatives, I have to bring first years towards MAC. So I think I'd be better in a way that I come from such a multicultural family, in a way that I could approach many different people.
One thing I believe that I do better than the candidates is reaching out to people, communicating, getting one-to-one basis with them.
Time starts now.
Honestly, everyone did amazing. I don't think I did anything better than everyone else. I think we all tried our best, and I think it's okay to mess up, and I just think we all should just do what we can. That's the best thing.
Honestly, I think it would be my enthusiasm, because I'm just, as you know, I'm a young living legend, they would say. Thank you guys very much. So it's like, I'm just very, in a way, I'm very welcoming and inviting. Like, I'm literally top to anybody. And I just, it's a very nice aura, I guess. And honestly, you guys ask us every day. You guys ask us every day if my friends, you guys know them, our closest group, you guys ask us if we've been friends for a long time, and to be honest, no. We all met at Frosh, but we all met at Frosh, and that's part of what, what I'm trying to bring to the first years to make them feel connected. I don't want anybody to feel left out.
So one thing that I think I would do better than the other candidates would be to plan events and promote them. When I was in high school, in grade 11, I was vice president. In grade 12, I was president of our student council. And so my main responsibilities were to plan lots of events, like spirit weeks, pep rallies to MC them, put together carnivals, put together charity events. So that's personally my strong suit. I have a lot of experience with that. And I was in charge of also promoting them and making sure everyone in the school knew about it and was passionate and excited about it and wanted to come out. And so that's something that I would like to bring to the table here, to have all of our first years come out to all of the events that we put on.
I believe my ability to communicate with other people and literally make new friends is top tier. Frosh, for example, I believe I've met like more than 200 people, including from other colleges, and we're on a first name basis. And it's just my ability to just come up to someone, introduce myself, receive and give information about myself in front of them, and just get to know people.
Thanks a lot. If you were to choose any position on McLaughlin College Council, who would you like to be and why? Your time starts now.
I would like to be VP Ops. And I think why? Because it's a great way to reach out to people, and I am important in a way to the council and to all MAC affiliated students, and I would love that.
One position I would choose is to be the president.
You don't want to do it.
Why? Because I want to lead McLaughlin College into a prosperous and flourishing year.
Brittany. You guys should follow my Instagram. I have a photography page. I'm really like a creative person. I dance, I sing, I do anything possible that gets me moving. And I just want to be more creative and like have more ideas. So like for example, my idea in making the cultural event, I really appreciate everyone, like how diverse McLaughlin is. So more ideas.
It's kind of, but I would like to be Sophie because she's VP of events, and honestly, I would just really like to be more involved within the McLaughlin family and plan things all the time. Like literally, just be there, make sure everything is running. She's the one you go to for questions and stuff like that. It's just such an important role.
So I would like to choose to be VP of Operations, and that's because that was really similar to what I did in high school. I was in charge of overseeing a lot of the events and things that would go on at the school. I would have a lot of teachers ask me to help them out in looking over the events and helping them put things together, and just in general overseeing a lot of the stuff going on and helping everyone out with their respective roles. So that was something that I would like to do.
I would choose VP Athletics because I know I don't really look like it, but I actually really love sports, guys. I love being athletic, I love going to the gym, and because of my ability to communicate with people and convince them, I'd love to recruit more people and have them involved in MAC sports and stuff like that.
What would be something that you consider maybe something that you see that needs to be working on or improved in terms of representation of the
Your time starts now.
I believe that even though McLaughlin is as inclusive as it could be, it could use some more work in a way that the first years this year are all international students, and I feel as though we need a first year who can.
As a first year rep, how will you connect all MAC first years together, since not everyone affiliated with MAC participates in MAC events and activities?
Of course, I have to communicate with you guys. So promoting the events, putting it out on social media, me physically going out there, promoting the events as well, and also spreading the word, and talking to the first years, asking them what they want in the event, what we can do to improve, what they want to see in the future, all that.
Thanks a lot.
How will you create a more welcoming environment within MAC?
So coming here, I really thought I wouldn't like make new friends, but now I have like 5 people, 7. Like we're all really tight, and I really want to include like all the first years. I don't want anyone to feel like they're not welcome. So maybe holding events where, like, maybe posting on Instagram like what events people will be interested in, and then that would be welcoming to other people. So just seeing what they really want to be active in.
Do you have any character flaws that would prevent you from doing the job completely? If so, how do you handle them?
Your time starts now.
I don't want to say it's a flaw, but maybe time management. But working better is scheduling myself, knowing where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing at this time. If it's class, if it's a council meeting, or if I have things to plan. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What new innovations or ideas would you bring to your first year of that position?
That's a really good question. I think it would be to put on some more, to put on unique and interesting events that we haven't had at MAC before, and to also have students that are affiliated with McLaughlin but don't actually come out to events or aren't involved in their college or involved with York in general, to have them come out, whether that be with going to classes that are affiliated with MAC and talking to them and telling them about the events and services we provide, even putting up posters, working with the communications teams, just spreading the word through social media, things like that, even just like handing out posters and flyers in Berry Hall, kind of like YFS does, just to spread the word and to have as many students involved as possible.
My question is, why should we trust in you as first year?
That's a pretty good one. I'm not sure if you guys have seen my post here, but if you haven't, it's okay. I'd like to bring up the point that I put my personal phone number at the bottom left of my poster, and some people actually came up to me and asked me about that, and they said, hey, like, what if you get inappropriate stuff? What if you get stuff like prank calls and stuff like that? And I said, I'm not worried about that because I trust the students of McLaughlin and whoever follows me, and I trust that they'll be responsible with my personal information, and in return, I would like for you guys to trust me as well with your vote and electing me for first year rep.
I would like to announce that the speeches and question time has come to an end. I'm kind of offended no one chose to be CRO.
I'll be.
Too late. To end this great debate, I would like to say that personally I'm honored and thankful that you delegated this power to me and allowed me to do whatever I can for this position.
To trust me as well with your vote and electing me for first year rep.
I would like to announce that the speeches and question time has come to an end. I'm kind of offended no one chose to be CRO.
I'll be.
Too late. To end this great debate, I would like to say that personally I'm honored and thankful that you delegated this power to me and allowed me to do whatever I can for this position and to make it as smooth and comfortable for you all. I hope you enjoyed the debate and all the periods we had, all the documents and stuff. And I encourage everyone here to vote by the sober mind, not by popularity contest. I hope that we choose great people because everyone here is an unbelievable person with great skills, great character, and I cannot tell you how much I respect them and how pleasant it was working with them for the past 2 weeks. After the debate is officially finished, you can talk to them and ask questions personally to clarify their positions. And I would like to remind that the voting starts on Monday at 8:30 a.m. and ends on Thursday at 11:15 p.m. Please express your position. Please express your voice. We would like to encourage everyone to participate because, as almost every candidate mentioned, we are a family and we want to be together. Thanks for your attention.